who today is on medication because he's suicidal because of what he's seen. Mind you, a child walking and seeing people cut open. Mind you, the same people come back and become your leaders and continue to violate you. And majority of the government cannot speak because they are part of the pie.
Yeah.
They listen, leadership starts from the top, development starts from the bottom. They are not taking the lead. And I'm sorry, no disrespect. We have people who have no morals. You have a man who has children who put them outside the house and leave them homeless. You have the man who refused to pay a child support for his child. Okay? Where do you anticipate? People think you're being difficult. No, you're not being difficult. You're being realistic. I'm being realistic. I'm dealing with the matter as it comes. You have a city representative who elected where is Reggie and where all that is from Dr. Praset, Decantini, the women of diaspora women for change, the alliance of Liberian women. We're sending people out to find what is this child. And we have a second government.
Yeah, it's so difficult. Let me hold you there. Let me welcome Dr. Precious to Precious. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's great to have you on. I have Ysyndi from the States, one of yours.
Hi, Ysyndi.
Hi, Dr. Precious. How are you?
I'm blessing you.
I'm good. Great joining you.
Precious, first of all, how are you doing anyway? Been a while.
I'm doing great. It's my day off. Yay.
Oh, okay. Happy day.
Thank you.
Today we've been trying to talk about Dr. King and what he did, what he left for us, especially you people that the two of you I have on with me right now. You are working your own behind the scene or in front, on the light to make sure that indeed communities are not only brought together but community cohesion is celebrated. How much do you remember Dr. King? Today is 50 years since they took him away from us. I wouldn't say he left us, but they took him away from us. How much do you remember? Do you notice? And now that you think what he was actually fighting for is being somehow visibly seen in your country or residence? Precious, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, so you didn't hear me then? I'm asking you. I'm asking today's. 50 years ago today, Dr. King, Martin Luther King was around. He left us. They took him away from us. What I'm trying to do is to just reflect a little bit. Sometimes and just try to compare that of yesterday to today, the 21st century. Whether indeed what this young man stood for is being, seen of reality, that he wanted the world to be together, black, no issue of racism also. As far as your personal experience is concerned, how do you remember him? Is the work being his work, his ideology being seen, practiced where you are today, in the part of the world you are today?
Well, we can point some few people out, but we don't want to put names and call names. But Dr. Luther stands for great things, and he actually believed in the black people when we didn't believe in ourselves and our hopes. And I think most black people today, in this century, is all talking about racism. But I think when you rise above your mindset and what is in your mindset, and that's what Dr. Luther King did. He said, I'm not going to be treated like a black man, and I'm not going to be misused because of my skin. Therefore, I'll rise up for my people. And it took that one man to break that hedge, and few other people that came along after him. and they stood for that and they died for that. The question is, who's willing to die for self-sacrifice?
Thank you.
So until we get to that level where we're willing to die for what we believe in, we can never say we are following his footsteps, because he made the way, he paved the way, he had the dream. The dreams have come to pass. And I used to say to people, miracles are not happening because you are the miracle. The question is, what can I do for society? Not what can the society do for me? And people are just quoting what Dr. Luther King left behind, but they don't really understand what he said, and they don't really understand what those quotations are. So we can't really say who is doing what anymore, because everybody's for themselves, and they say God for all, but for the wrong ideologies.
Yeah. Now, if Dr. Precious, if we take a look, or kind of we wind the clock back to when those days people, according to lay people, used to see sign like no blacks are allowed here also, and we fast forward again 21st century, but yet and still, despite the fact those signs are nowhere written visibly for us to see, but at the same time we can see that discrimination is there based on perhaps your name, or based on the color of your skin. Why is it up to now in the 21st century, from your own perspective, why is it up to now we're having this problem, even though a lot of people sacrifice their lives for it?
We have this thing that we see, the Declaration of Human Rights. So you have 30 declarations of the human rights that were put together by great people, and the lead was a woman. If you don't know your rights, you only speak what other people speak, and you only act the way other people act. Because you have the right to move anywhere you need to move to. You have the right to life. Every man was born equal. Dr. Luther said the same thing as well, and he knew his right. So no one could look in his eyes and talk him down. You come into a country, and it says, to become a lawyer, you have to do a course for what? 4 years? Let's say you do your LPC, 2 more years added to that, that's 8 years. Let's say the math, it depends on your capabilities. And I used to say to my friends, you're doing nursing. How many more years is it for doctorate degree, to be a doctor? They said, 2 more years. So why don't you do the 2 more years and become a doctor instead of being a nurse? Because nurses learn more than the doctors do.
Yeah.
So you need to advance yourself. It is not your name. It is what you carry and what you believe in your mindset. Someone said to me, the person is 35 years, and he said, I came to this country, I can't go to school because I will not become the person that I ought to become because I'm black and because of my name. I said, really? My name is Precious Tall, and I was married to someone called Ungu. The Ungu is even heavy for a white man to pronounce.
I know.
But I have the qualification, I have my experience. I went for the interview, and I said, you need me, I don't need you. We need to find ourselves and get away from the slavery mentality and walk into that glorious destiny that is for us, based upon what you know and based upon your knowledge, and keep increasing in what we are. And our children will follow wherever we are anyway. I saw Dr. Luther's granddaughter spoke when the young people were doing the mass parade, and they were protesting, and that little girl spoke.
Yeah.
She spoke like that because she was taught to speak like that, and she knew who her great-grandfather was, or her grandfather was. And she knew the surrounding of the surrounding. And so she was able to stand and speak in the multitude of people and say, you repeat this after me. Now, some children grow up in great homes but can't speak like that. Why? Because they were taught the lineage of who they were. So we need to bring children out of those poverty mentality, slavery mentality, and say, you're not going to be a cleaner because I'm a cleaner. And your name does not, it defines you, yes, but what you put in yourself is what made you who you are, and that's what carried your name in the first place. So we need to stop all the barriers. There's no barriers when you know you're right. There's no barriers when you're educated, you have the experience. You will be told no many times, but you have Dr. Luther so many times. He must have been slapped many times, put into prison many times. But it never stopped him. He said, I have a dream. And he stood by that dream. And the man was a walking prophet. And everything he said came to pass because he believed that his people will wake up one day and rise up to the challenges that they were facing, and not become among the majority, but single themselves out and stand up wherever they stand to stop or to do whatever they have to do.
Ysyndi, given the the situation under which we are today, the 21st century, wherein, despite the fact we continue to talk about it, but it continues to happen. Of course, perhaps people will say, okay, it's not on the scale as compared to before 1968 or so. But you think if Dr. King was alive today, he would have been happy, even though if trends were to continue as they are. Do you think his spirit is actually celebrating that what he lived or came to reality?
Yes, sorry, Mom.
And like that's the president just said. Yes, I believe so also. Period is, you see Jesse Jackson. You see the other guys that follow him, Johnny Lewis, and all of these people. If you just a visual, they locked arms, expecting that they were going to be beaten, expecting that some of them may not have made it out of there, but they were standing up for the future generation. So let me go back to Africa, right?
Yeah.
So we come to America, we buy the big houses, and then we can't live together. Everybody wants privacy. So I come fast forward into America, if you hear Oprah talk, where the whole family lived in one building. Everybody was close. Grandparents have belonged. Now we are so individualistic. Who is taking the charge? Who is saying us? Even in Africa, when do we say it with the leadership, us as a nation, us as a continent? And when King spoke, he said, I may not get there with you. You are in the collective sense. Okay? Not just as children. When he spoke collectively. He spoke as a nation where my children and the children of former slave owner would sit at the same table. Collective thought process. And would be in brotherhood. Collective thought process.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Dr. King, Dr. King, in all of his speeches, mostly he was dealing with with biblical words. Some of them were prayers. But in speech, let's if we actually go by what he was saying, and he used to say, or what he said, which of course most of the words, like I said, is you can use them for prayers or so. And tying with what is happening in your own country of birth, which is Liberia. We've been praying as well. People been praying. People been having sleepless nights to have officials, the government that will look after their people, to see a nation moving forward. Why is it that the prayer we still to see the prayers coming into action, Dr. To?
When Dr. King prayed, he had actions with his prayers. The Bible says faith without work is dead. So nobody wants to die, right? But they believe they have the faith, but there's no action to the faith, so therefore the faith is not working. When he was the leader of his time, he was the forefront of these people. Like I said, whatever was going to happen, he has already sold himself out to death. The man, he said, I'm dead already. Whatever's going to come, I'm here to receive you. For my people. They were behind, he was in front. You have leaders these days in Africa, especially Liberia. When votings are taking place, people make decisions based upon what they see. I don't think our people are wisdomly doing things anymore. Now you have leaders that when they sit in the seat, they turn their back. And you have some good people that were appointed and put next to them to tell them the right things to do. But then these people get there and they are corrupted. That tells you they were not good in the first, they were just waiting for the opportunity to happen. I watch your post every time, Max, and you have advocating for this young girl that was raped and things that has been done to her and few others that have disappeared. But who is beside you? Nobody wants to speak because nobody wants to die. You're the only one advocating. And then you had a question. You said, where is the mother of these children? And I have to think about, is their hands not in the case? Are you fighting a dead case that is being dealt with by those people silently? Sometimes because we Africans are so afraid, we have withheld the truth and we are dying in silence. And that's what's happened to the leaders that are following those presidents and ministers and whatsoever you have you there. But Dr. Luther, when he took his position, he wasn't going to hear anything or be corrupt by nobody. He took it upon himself. If I die, I die. If I perish, like Jesus said. And I'm going forward. So we are praying too much. But the churches in Africa or in Liberia are just going to this government and becoming like them, taking money, building big churches, adding more men to their churches, getting more tax, getting more of what they can get, but they're not fighting for the nation of the generations that are coming up. Someone wants those that are left behind, like a burning bush, what is going to grow is better than what has gone past them. We can do better than what Martin Luther King did, but we don't have the people that are willing to stand with us to fight for it. And I think when we are in the diaspora and we are talking, people say, oh, because they're in Africa and abroad, they're talking. No. Take me to Liberia.
There you go.
If I have the, like I said to you last time, the reason why I'm not in Liberia, I can't be doing albinos fellowship stuff without, no. This get you people that I went to go and see. I have to have enough to buy a ticket, enough to go and help them. But if I have £1,000 and I buy half of that for the ticket, and I get there, it will be young people looking in my mouth to see them. And it's going to be so sad me coming back to London without accomplishing what I've set out to do in Liberia.
Yeah.
And so we send the money forward and expect them to do good things with it. But the leadership in the country has to say, I'm ready to serve my people. But now I think our mindset is changing, Dr. King, where we will say, what can we do for our country, not what can the country do for us? And we stand up, whether it's let them control us or death they're going to throw at us, we have to do what we have to do. Because Liberia has to be liberated. Africa has to be liberated. The Western world knows we can never unite because we are not together. And they know that because we envy and jealous ourselves, and everything that Dr. King said with the other people that have come before him will never be actualized. Because we can't even stay in one room without fighting or kicking ourselves apart. Or going to someone and damage someone's image. We have to grow past the level to walk that path. But prayer is good, but I think it's time for action. And those leaders in Liberia, Nigeria, they have to start working. If I go into the office and say, yes, you've appointed me to pray for you, Mr. President, but my people are suffering, my people are dying, and we need to change the policies and the legislation and things put in place for our people to be able to live. The poverty rate is too high, the education rate is too low, everything is terrible. And you are a president now for the people and by the people. Therefore, you need to act accordingly to the people and what they need and why they need in the first place. But nobody of the leadership is saying that.
No.
So we cannot work. We cannot take on Dr. Luther King's principles and precedents that he said. And he's wherever he is, bless his soul, will be like, I die for my people and look at this. It's like Jesus saying, I gave my life for them and look at them. The pain. It's like you killed the person 1,000 times more.
Yeah. Ysyndi, putting your country under the microscope again, is Liberia being cursed, or are you saying is the country self-hate?
Okay, so ask that question. That's a rough one.
Is Liberia being cursed, or the country itself is? Are we self-hate as a country?
So let's look at our history. Let's see the past that we come from. So I will go with let me speak to Dr. Tu a little bit. Let me just add up to her voice. Faith without work is in thee. Okay. Now, you can go in the mountains and stay there 7 days. And come back and do the same thing, you will get the same result. I call that insanity.
Yeah.
Liberia has turned more holy, but more devilish at the same time. I see, when I was a young girl going to church, which I was the young woman, the young woman auxiliary, I was actually baptized by now the archbishop at that time, who was the pastor of AGM on the old road, Pastor Winker. And I had to go through like 3 months of 5, 6 month class to learn how a young woman needs to behave herself. When dating as a Christian or courting as a Christian young girl, what behavior was expected. In my household, I did not go out unless I had an escort. Either my aunt, my uncle, or my mother was there, especially, as a baby. Now, but my parents were solely and wholly responsible for my well-being. And the least that you have to tell you as quick, he said the wrong word to me. I said, I would tell my mother, teachers knew to stay away from me, of all of the girls. Okay? So now let's go back to where we are. We went through a war. I served in my community, and Dr. Toe, let me say to you, hats off to you, first of all. Let me commend you for what you're doing and what you just said, because I want to give you your flower. You were in the front line, and that makes so much sense. I can pay $1,600 and go to Liberia, but I can take the money and send it to do stuff that we did during Christmas. We're looking to do something in June. So I think if we can collaborate and put the effort together and plan a time that we can take the lead, as you said, and be on the ground, and maybe to set an example to motivate, because and here is Max. We are lack leadership. We are lack pathfinder and trailblazers. We are mostly followers and people who talk a lot without actions. Okay, that's the thing that goes. If you want to look like the right person, put it in a book. We do not read. Okay, and we do not write either. Majority of us are right. We write rubbish because it suits us, and we can defend nonsense. So we do. Now, I don't believe we are cursed. We are a blessed nation.
Amen.
We are. Because, the Bible said life and death lies in the power of the tongue. But we have the choice. God is a God of free will. So let me bring you to a place. When Paula White said, God is a God of free will, He has given you an opportunity to make a decision that will impact generations to come. I recommend this is the person the Lord had ordained. But let's go back again in the Bible. The children of Israel wanted their own king. Isn't that correct? And what did Samuel say? He went to God, and God said, tell them this is what will happen to them. This is these things that's going to happen. They said, every nation has king. We want our own king. So instead of worshiping the God that took them out of Egypt, that brought them into this new land, they wanted another king to worship them. God gave them their heart desires. So the story, the prophecy was told. But we were given the choice as God's free will to make a decision as to where we want to go. No, we are a blessed nation. God's face is still upon us. We have an opportunity to turn the corners. But here how we do that. We do that, but those of us who know better, to stand up together, to take the lead for the people who are still in mental darkness. Because eventually we are going to die. But God said to Joshua, when Joshua said, Lord, I'm too young. I can't take the lead, or I don't know how. But he did not understand all this while when Moses called Joshua the general, he was going to be that general. It's just that my sister just said, the young girl that stood up there and spoke, it ain't happened by accident. She was not sure. Her parents told her, you are who you are, and you are just as important, if not even more important. That your voice matters. That you have the capacity that any other person, if you put forth the effort. When you look at your child and call her a dog, and somebody else calls your daughter a dog, and then you're pissed off, why are you pissed off?
Yeah.
So we as Liberians, we have to come and claim ownership. We have to claim and speak life into our country. And we have to stand up for our children. So we will want you to speak like Liberia is a blessed nation that is being mismanaged. So I greed and Gestapos and gangsters and rogues and killers and rapists.
Right. Let me ask the both of you this final question. I would just want your own candidate honest answer. Liberia, if you any of you will agree with me, it's a country like you said, that is blessed. They're blessed to the extent that at present in Liberia, we have people, or we have two different temples in Liberia. I said this on Facebook the last time. I mean, a lot of people agree with me, but let me put it before you people. Let me hear your views on it. We have where Christians go to worship is also referred to as a temple of Christ, and we do also have where Muslims go to worship, which is also referred to as the temple of Muhammad. And in Liberia, we do have another temple there, which is referred to as the Masonic temple. Now, these three temples, there are a lot of our people or government officials are caught up between the three temples. Some of them belongs to all three. They go to the mosque, they go Friday, they go Sunday, they go to the church, and maybe other days they go to the Masonic temple. Now, given the fact that, our country, from where we've come, how we normally say it was built on a Christian principle, isn't it a kind of a dangerous scenario if we sit between these three temples without making a sound decision to decide and say, let me focus on one? Because even the Bible says that, even the Quran also says that if you decide to come to me, only me, don't have another one. Why are we behaving, or perhaps denying the core of God or the way of God today? Let me start with you, Dr. Precious, too. Where do you stand on this? Do you agree with me that we have these three temples existing in Liberia and our people are confused?
The Bible says, for lack of knowledge, my people perish. And then he went on to say, you cannot serve two masters.
No, you can't.
Men that have 5, 6 wives. All viewers, he's going to love one. And like the rest, eventually. You cannot rule a nation and you're indecisive. You don't even know where you belong yourself. You're divided. Your spiritual life is imbalanced. And the people you're leading need direction, so you don't have it to give to them. And people, Donald Trump, he wouldn't want to be a Muslim or one of the Imam or any of the above, but he claims he's a Christian. And every time he makes it his duty to stand on TV and speak about God, even though we know he's a very silly guy. But the man has said himself, I'm a Christian, this is a Christian nation. So opposing what Obama has already done. And then people say he's a Christian. But the Bible says many have come, but in my name, but they're not of me. Our people, that's what I'm saying, we have all these churches, and they're just going to take the money and put their hands on the president and walk away. Corruption that they're going, preaching to these people about prosperity and taking their little money. Now, what Liberia is about now, it's about us going back to liberate that country. Because like my sister rightfully said, Liberia is a beautiful, rich country. I went back after 19 years. I could smell the freshness of the grass, the green of Liberia, the rubber, the iron ore, the rivers with the golds and diamonds in there, and the ignorance of our people. If we educate one woman, that nation of Liberia would be great. Because we had a woman president that taught well. I'm surrounded by men so they can do what they want to do, and I can just be as wicked as them, because we actually look up to her to actually make young women feel like we are empowered. Women are great people when you empower them, the right ones, by the way, because you can have
thank you
that you can put upon the seat will ruin generations upon generation. And upon her rule, one thing she said that I kept the peace, but she didn't keep the corruption either.
No.
So it didn't give us as women to speak for, though we have a woman that was really wicked than the men that sat there before. Now, we have to go with our voices and liberate this place. We can't depend on this decisive and divided presidents anymore. Like you said, 3 temples, 3 masters. They don't know what they're doing. I don't even know how to answer this one. I'm confused myself, and I'm really weeping in my spirit. There were 3 temples, to be honest with you. And I'm picturing the way God is feeling. When they were inaugurating this guy, you could see how many bishops and archbishops and I don't know how to call their names that were there. What were they there for? to show the gowns they're wearing. Because after all, the men that are behind them are those that kill our uncles and our aunties in the first place. The land is not healed. The people are not healed. There's no counseling session for these young people. That's why you still have the little ones that have the rebel mentality still in Liberia, beating their friends black and blue. And you, the one you put in position, is still the team of rebel leaders you put in position. What do you want me to say? I don't know. I'm sorry, ma.
Cindy, I don't know if you agree with me. We have 3 temples in Liberia, but then don't you think that because we are failing to actually stick to one, is also causing us serious problem as a country to move forward? Like why you see a lot of corruption and corrupt people.
Yeah.
So, Max, let me add. And God says, "For I, your God, I am a jealous God." Right? That's what He says.
That's right.
Have no other God before me. And the Bible also said, a devil-minded man is unstable in all of his ways.
That's right.
He didn't say some, all of his ways. You cannot serve 3 masters, as Dr. Told just with that. And you cannot be lukewarm. You're either cold or you're hot. When you don't know where your source of power or blessing comes from, so you go to 3 places. You are a confused person off the bat, in my opinion. And I'm entitled to it as freedom of speech. And according to biblical facts, they will back me. And let me tell you this, my husband is a minister, but we live by what he does. He's a structural engineer and an industrial engineer. Okay? I, on the other hand, I pay my dues, and I'm not going to say what I do. But in short, I'm an educator. Okay? Growing up, there was a temple in Yekipa when Samuel Doe took over. It was a temple, like it's an ascetic temple. And they busted into the place. And there was blood in buckets. There was human cows, there were baby bones in the temple. This is a true story. Fast forward to the 2006 to 2017. Literally, all the young Liberian men and women have gone and joined this society thinking that's the source of their strength. But that brings me to a place where I will ask, when God asked Abraham, if you can show me one good man inside him, I will see him. So my point I'm making is, yes, you have 2% confused who are in leadership, but they are still good people. They are still God-fearing people. Like I said, my husband is a minister. I haven't been to church in a while. I just went to church. I have been so perplexed and confused that I look around me. The higher I get into the hierarchy of religion, the more depressed I get. Don't get me wrong. I have my own encounter. I believe there is a God that is merciful, that is powerful, that can heal, that still perform miracles.
Yes.
But I also believe on the day of judgment. And so was so or it said, I perform miracles in your name. I spoke to people and brought them to salvation. And the Lord will say, depart from me, but I know you not. So it is important when we come to a place, even with our children, to know God for yourself. Majority of the confusion is, majority of these kids, that Dr. told this day, that we never saw counseling. I'm one of those children. I'm one of those kids who, if I hear a firecracker, I stay scream and jump to the floor and roll. Okay? I am one of those. I am one of those that when I see moving a wall, I'm going into shock.
Yes. Yes.
I am one of those people. But I've come to the terms that I have lived with them all this while, almost 30 years. I will live for it for the next 35 to 40 years. But my goal is to not allow another child to go through that trauma. That's why I speak.
Yeah.
But until those temples, People decide what they want to wear, especially as a leader. You have to have a sense of direction.
Yeah.
You cannot give what you do not have. The book of Ecclesiastes says, what is lacking cannot be given.
Yeah.
So they don't have it. And that's why I came to the place when I said that people said, you're against the person. I said this not can be done. You have a gentleman who will want millions that he earned. But he squandered it. You take it on your sweat better than other people's sweat. He had children that he refused to support. Someone he put out of home and they were homeless. And I came to the place, I said, okay, he's not elected, he's our president. But not that the lady Mary was not a sinner, not that she was not guilty. But Jesus said, I'm giving you a new life, go and sin no more. It's an opportunity for him. They say always take the foolishness of the word.
Yeah.
I confirm.
So he may be that foolishness, but he has to surround himself with people who have the fear of God in him and go and sin no more. And people can look at him and say, yes, he was foolish, yes, but see what the Lord has done. This is a place that I take. And because people don't process information and grab onto negativity, they don't get where I come from with this. Yes, you've been that. Yes, we've been guilty. But you can turn the corners. You can make God's face shine to say, yes, look at what I've done.
Okay. All right. The time is 3 o'clock here in the United Kingdom. My time is up. But before I let you both go, Dr. So, if you were standing maybe in the midst of Monrovia right now and preaching the gospel, and perhaps God has revealed to you that your people in your country, these 3 temples are confusing individuals. Some individuals are standing between the 2 or 3, or 3 of them are worshiping at the same time, which is forbidden. What message will you be preaching to them?
Like what my sister just said, there's always.
If you were standing today in Monrovia on Broad Street preaching, right?
Yeah.
And then prior to you preaching this message, and you heard this message perhaps from God telling you that go and tell your people that I'm angry. There are 3 temples in Liberia, and those 3 temples, most of them are taking the 3 temples to be their place of worship. They go to the mosque Friday, they go to church on Sunday, and another day they go to the other temple. What message will you be preaching to them?
Repent. In the kingdom of God, they have to make up their mind which temple they're going to serve.
Thank you.
The Bible says, choose you this day who you will serve.
Thank you.
Yes.
Ysyndi, what sort of message will you be preaching to them?
Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Choose this day life or death.
Right, these wonderful women. I want to say I wish I had more time here to because you opened the Pandora box that actually have given me the quest to invite you back here. We have to come back here and talk more and educate our people more. So let me say it for today. I want to appreciate the both of you very, very much, Dr. Precious to Ysyndi. I want to say thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Precious.
Thank you, Dr. So we need to get in touch. I need to talk to you. And Max, I need to talk to Talu Kura also. We want to organize a rally the day of court. We want to be in front of the courthouse. I've been trying to contact her. So yes, let's collaborate. We were Precious and I will get in contact with you. Okay. Thank you so much for your contribution. God bless. Thank you, Max.
God bless the both of you too. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Yes. Always good to have
I give you praise. You make me shine in the presence of my enemies. Oh Lord, yeah. I wish that you, I'm strong that you, faithful that you. I am a testimony. King of glory. year to shine. It's my year to light. It's my year to move in higher glory. Yeah. Oh.
Okay, let me say a big thank you to Dr. Precious, Ysyndi, Martin. Thanks to these wonderful women of Liberia, residing in the States and London, United Kingdom. Thanks for your time this afternoon. It was great interaction. What a wonderful woman, Liberian women we have. That's how I'm gonna end my time here this afternoon for the afternoon show. Sorry I couldn't bring you the print news show. We will return this evening for the print news review. Until then, later this evening by 9 o'clock UK time, I want to say have a blessed day or have a very good night. Bye bye for now.
King 53 of